Hey everyone, it's Mera Mangle.
And Fabrielle.
And welcome to another Mangled morning.
Woo!
Fabrielle.
Hello.
You look enchanting.
Well, thank you. So do you, Princess
A little
Peach.
sleepy.
A little, yeah. I'm slept on. So.
Hello.
I wanted to be Briar Rose, a.k.a. Aurora, a.k.a. Sleeping Beauty for y'all
Sleeping
today.
Beauty realness. don't, what did she prick her finger on?
A thimble.
It's, like something you would never just stumble upon.
A spindle, not a thimble.
Right.
A thimble is what you use so you don't get pricked.
Right. Today, we're here to talk all about Snatch Game on Season 17. Very unexpected results. The delusion is real. There must be some sort of gas leak in the workroom, because we didn't talk about that last week either, because it's every week.
And
it
it's
gets
several mini
It
girls.
gets all the girls.
Yeah.
Gets them all.
It's the season of delusion.
Fabrielle, how you been?
I feel like 2025, we're all in the same boat. Like, as of, this year started off rough.
Right. I mean, just worldwide or US-wide.
Right, yeah, US-wide. It has been a rough year, but I've been making a lot of changes that have been for the good, for better. For good. Wicked. But I've been doing less shows, but I've been doing higher quality. I think I was talking to you about that before we started filming. Me and Capona had this pact where we're like, we're going to do less, but we're going to feel better about the casts that we are making and the drag we're producing. And I've been singing a lot. Too. I
remember you were starting to do that last time you were here.
We talked about that too, like as our resolutions in drag, I think before on one episode.
Oh, yeah.
I think it might have been for Patreon or something.
Probably.
But which, if you haven't,
join the Patreon.
And
this is a new channel, because I feel like for a lot of people,
they thought it was a fake channel.
No, well, either they thought it was fake, or now they know it's not.
Right.
I mean, if you don't know now, then, I mean, what am I, AI?
Gay eye.
There you go.
You're the guest of Snatch Game.
Butt plug. So a lot of people, it just popped up for them as a recommendation, and so they just assumed it was the normal channel.
Yeah.
This is a brand new channel, so even though it just pops up like my old channel did, make sure that you're actually subscribed. And hit that button. And same thing for the Patreon. If you were previously a Patreon member, guess what, Mimi? You're not anymore. You have to join the new one. Everything's the same, except it's just, instead of Mera Mangle, it's Mera Mangled.
The mangling is in the past.
They won't let me have the old ones back.
Maybe one day they'll give them back to you.
If I could ever get someone at YouTube to respond, then we'd head right back over to the old channel.
Right.
But
this is a new one and a chance to start anew.
And it's going very well.
It is.
Very, very happy with the first week.
I loved your videos with Chastity. It felt so nice to hear y'all banter.
I was so nervous.
What?
So nervous last week.
Really?
To just do Mangle Morning again.
Yeah, because that was the first one.
Yeah. The second I got on camera, it was like, we have business to get to anyway.
It's like seeing an old friend.
Right. So we're going to get all into Season 17. Plus, there's news about Drag Race France. We got our first promo for that.
Ooh.
But before we get started, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, and join the Patreon, where you can see all kinds of additional content you can't see on YouTube, plus you're helping support the channel. Now you can also support the channel by tipping on Venmo or Cash App, like Michael N., who said, sending some support your way for the new channel and thrilled you're back. Thank you, Michael. We're thrilled to be back.
Michael N., the N is for new channel.
There you go.
So you YouTube skanks can give a YouTube thanks, okay?
I bet that's someone's actual, phrase.
You're right.
Speaking of skanks, take a look at Nikki Doll and the All-Star judges on France.
Oh, wow.
We know, what is her name, Daphne?
Mm-hmm.
Her Michelle. But Kitty is not there. And there's 2 new judges. I don't know them, but...
Maybe they'll bring a fresh...
Yeah, I mean, they kind of do need that. Daphne and Kitty both sometimes say questionable stuff. Yeah. Especially last season, I felt like...
Honestly, wish they'd switch it up on, U.S. Drag Race more.
Right.
Rotate
we've
different
got Law
people.
mixing in.
Yeah, we've got Law.
Good.
I love Law and TS, and, hopefully they'll bring a new, fresh breath of air. They'll revolutionize...
And we'll revel in
France. No, I'm just kidding. French Revolution. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Guillotine. I wish some people would go to the guillotine. But is this giving voice promo?
It is. I think, I'm just, still wow, she just wished someone's head was cut off.
Just some people,
and
not everybody.
This is
just the rich.
Then just right back into it. Being that we just got this as the promo, that means it'll probably be our next season to start.
Ooh.
And I would assume maybe in about a couple weeks to a month at the most, we'll get the queens, the All-Star queens.
Yes.
Later this week,
get the cast announced.
Yeah. Later this week, we're going to take a look at a few different rumored casts. And we'll work that one in as well. Just do an oversight on that. I knew something was about to break. And
what had happened?
A stone just fell out.
Oh. I don't even know where.
I don't know, but I could feel it.
Oh, like the very tip.
Yeah, it was at the bottom because it was hitting me, but it also felt like it was moving.
Oh.
That's
that.
Like, even though...
There's always... You can sense... Like, the sixth sense of, like, right. Like, when I have a hair in my lash, I'm like, I know it's there.
Let's get into season 17. I guess before we get into this week's episode, overall thoughts? Are you enjoying 17?
I am loving it. I feel like it's polarizing again. Drag Race is polarizing. People are like, Untucked is finally relevant again.
Yeah.
And, like... I don't know, it's reminding me of seasons 5 and seasons 3, where, you have the Heathers and the Relaska Tucks and the Kumbaya girls and the non-Kumbaya girls.
They formed relationships fast.
Instantly.
And opinions on each other fast.
Yeah, and I love it. And it feels genuine. It doesn't feel scripted. It feels, like, emotionally charged. And, like, say what you want. I wish it was like an older cast, of course, because like it feels like the Nepo Babies versus Lexi Love.
Hello, right. Very that. Capone has been joining me for a few weeks on Patreon for the watch-alongs.
Yes.
The term drag Nepo Babies came up, and I'm like, wow, Drag Race is like ground zero for that. Because they sometimes exclusively cast that.
Yeah.
Like Nepo Babies of other Drag Race queens.
Well, Capona's kind of a Nepo Baby. She's the daughter of Maxi Glamour.
That's true.
So,
but I mean, I feel like
to some extent
you have to reap the rewards.
But she's a talented Nepo Baby.
Nepo Baby.
Because there's like talented Nepo Babies and who
now,
like.
If Capona got on Dragula, then I would say that.
Then
but I wouldn't actually call her that now,
right?
Because she didn't get here for that. Because I didn't even know.
Right. Do you remember when Mistress was on and everything was an era? Like, we're in this era and that era. I feel like this is the season of the gates. We're in the trim gate and the spray paint gate and the this gate and the that gate and the Toot gate. But I'm really loving
the Toot gate.
I just made that one up. Suzie Toot. I don't know.
I mean, there's the theme of that and then the delusion.
And the delusion. But I live.
Let's go ahead and get into this week's episode.
Yeah.
It starts off with, of course, them wiping off Hormona Lisa's message. Kori's doing the confessional, being like, oh, we're going to miss her. And then, laughing hysterically. No, I'm not. They don't care for each other.
Yeah.
But we don't know why. Right? Like, did I miss something?
I think whenever Hormona first came in, Kori immediately was like, oh, she's the one that RuPaul chose, so I don't like her. That's kind of what Kori did. Oh. So I think that's the reason why, because she's the chosen one, which she, like, wrote on the mirror. But, like, I think that's where that beef came from. Because she's like, oh, well, you didn't audition properly like the rest of us. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember that, but also, like, it's not enough. To me, it seemed like
they didn't, like, hammer it home.
There's not enough there to be a feud. Like, it still makes me feel like something happened that wasn't captured.
Yeah, off screen, maybe. Right. I think Kori, too, has just been like, I want bitches to go home. Yeah. So we need to get people out of here. And she has kind of held resentment a little bit for any time somebody has been saved so far.
Speaking of resentment, Crystal was resenting Arrietty as well because God, because of her win, saying like if you would have gone home last week, I would have won.
And it's kind of true, but I'm so glad Arrietty was saved because she fully I cannot fathom the runway without her because
thank you. She is the runway this season.
It's so
the runway queen,
impeccable. Every single look, head to toe, just incredible. And she's been giving us a little villainry, like in Untucked when she called everybody out and was like...
This week?
Previously. Just like in general, she's just been kind of a villain, but...
Really?
And I feel like they've been building that up.
I don't get that at all. But also, because I watched the first 5 episodes, like I binged them all at once.
Oh, so it's,
They're not as like potent in my brain.
You're right.
But I have not seen that. I've not felt that.
I feel like they've been giving us her villain arc because they got rid of the girl that she liked, Lucky. Immediately, so that was hard for her.
Why did they fall in love so quick?
And then they kept putting her in the bottom for her comedy, and then, like, having her lip sync, and then she basically went home, and then... So, like, they've been building her villain arc, and in one of the Untucks for, I think, RDR Live. She, like, called everybody out and she was like, you weren't as good, you could have been in the bottom.
I do remember that, but I mean, like, they asked her, and I felt like it was very brief and it was very quick.
Her villainry is valid. I think, don't see it, but I just see her.
See, I don't see it as villainry.
Yeah,
I'm just not interpreting it that way. My brain does not do that at all.
To me, she's villain, non-derogatory.
I felt like Kori's confessionals about some folks were giving villain up until the Snatch game started, because then a lot of her feelings were justified based on what we saw.
Yeah.
So,
how are you feeling about Miss Kori and Lydia? Their little burgeoning romance.
It feels like nothingness for real.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know.
It.
And we only hear Kori talk about it. Why don't we ever hear Lydia talk about it?
Yeah.
Like, we do see them, like, all booed up together.
Canoodling.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good way to save post-show, because they're still seeing each other. It's a good way to save on hotel rooms. Because they can just stay together.
I love you being resourceful and thinking about the budget.
Frugal. We're thinking about the money.
I mean, friends can also share hotel rooms, too.
That's true. But I ship it. I do. I like the Kori and the Lydia.
I just feel
something about them feels like really cute to me.
I think it.
Whereas like other couples, I haven't felt like that.
See, I feel like it wouldn't matter who on the cast that Lydia would be paired up with. She looks like she's 14, so I feel like anyone she's booed up with is inappropriate. Because that's a child.
That's real. I see her more as a Victorian, like. Well, I guess I was going to say child, so that's real. A Victorian child, but...
oh, okay. Well, then that's different.
That's different, because she's Victorian.
That's what they married young back then.
Right.
The opposite of young is Alyssa Edwards. She came in the workroom before Snatch Game.
She had no business mentoring them on Snatch Game.
Right. You got through one time because, like Alexi Love did this time.
Yeah.
Being hilarious.
Because you...
For all the wrong reasons.
For all the wrong reasons, yeah. I loved her Joan Crawford, but like...
Yeah. That was the only time it was
I feel like maybe they had Quinta.
Her brother.
I feel like her brother, her drag king persona.
Right.
I feel like they had Quinta, like, set up to mentor, and maybe she couldn't make it. And maybe that's why they had the gay eye, too.
Yeah, I hated that. I thought that was so dumb.
Maybe Quinta couldn't make it that day, and that's why they had the gay eye and had Alyssa mentor them.
There's also 5,000 queens in LA alone from the show.
I know.
Raven is physically there. She's done this 100 times. A few times before.
I get it, it's a joke, but, like, it wasn't funny.
It was never funny.
Yeah.
And it was a one-note joke when it started, you know.
And who voiced it?
I think it was Ross.
Oh.
I was guessing Ross, and then I was like, well, Ross hasn't been there. And then, lo and behold, who was on the panel? It was Ross.
It sounded like Ross trying to do a Leslie Jordan impersonation.
I think Alyssa did great. She was fun to watch the whole episode.
Yeah, she was. And she actually, I'm like, did they write some of these jokes for her? Because she was funny.
Probably because the pressure's off and she's got the money.
Right, that's true.
It was a very testicle moment when she heard Lydia Butthole Kollins.
She was like,
ooh. What was that name?
She's a Christian woman, okay?
Let's get into the Snatch Game. And we already talked about Alyssa in the butt plug, so great. There was something chaotic feeling about the Snatch Game, and like, it was disorienting.
Oh.
I think it's because there's 11 people.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is pretty... normally, they do it at halfway point, and this was, like, a little early on to do Snatch Game.
Yeah, I mean, the times they have done it earlier on, like 15, they had all of them do it, but they did split them into two groups, but it still was overwhelming.
I really wish, like, they would really workshop these characters. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know maybe that would be... I just want to set the girls up for success.
Yeah.
And I feel like having... Rue is wonderful, obviously, but I feel like...
You want more direct advice. More
direction.
Yeah.
I want, like, Quinta had the best stuff to say on the panel, and I wish she would have been there to say that ahead of time.
One of the best guest judges in quite some time, which reminds me, last week we covered a bunch of stuff, including Canada, the episodes I missed.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to call out Orville Peck was an amazing guest judge.
Oh, on Canada?
There was one other person at the end that was also incredible.
I loved Hunter Schaefer, too. She did great.
She was great. She was absolutely wonderful. Great. But there was somebody else on Canada at the end that...
Shay. I loved Shay.
Shay did great, but I think we were still here for that. There was somebody else, but it's fine.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah. Or I'll just put the picture in.
Right. We'll edit it in here.
But I think it's because there was 11 people, so it felt like like disorienting and chaotic.
No,
and
I
also
agree.
the way, because we are jumping and missing so many people. Like the people that were safe, they were pretty obvious because they got like one joke in.
Yeah,
like a lot of people were
It did
barely
not
in
feel
it.
evenly distributed.
No.
Normally they go like somewhat try to evenly distribute the jokes, but they were
for story, for our entertainment.
It was a lot of
To
Sam
save
Star.
us too.
Yeah. There's a lot of Sam Star being shown and then, like, cutting to other people, but, like, not a ton of other people. It didn't live up to my expectations. I wasn't disappointed, but I was a little underwhelmed.
It was very mid for what we've seen in Snatch Game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's been worse, obviously. First, let's talk about the top row.
Let's talk about these girls.
We've got, who the hell is that? That's Acacia.
Yeah.
That's Trisha. She looks like Crystal.
I was like, she looks nothing like Trisha Paytas. Like, she's still, I can see, she looks like Crystal.
And she didn't do anything to affect her voice in any way.
No. Honestly, at this point, if you've seen someone do it before, whether it's successful or unsuccessful,
you got to do it better.
You have to know that you're going to do it better.
Right.
And I guess she did do it a little better than Sugar because she wasn't in the bottom. But, like...
Right. But also they showed her once.
Yeah.
You know, like they barely showed her.
Yeah.
Somebody who did have a character and had a plan, but it wasn't very successful was Suzie Toot.
I really enjoyed it.
You did?
I don't know if
I'm funny?
I don't know if I'm on the Toot delusion train.
I will say that the very last time she did the scissors joke, I don't know why. For some reason, the last time I was like, huh, this is stupid. I think this is stupid.
That's been my vocal stem of the week so far. Like in the shower earlier, I was like, Trisha. Like, I am a Little Shop fan, so I understood all her nuances and stuff. It's crazy because I feel like they were building Suzie up to be a Jinx Monsoon, basically, and that she's an underdog and she wears a lot of red hair and like
from a different time period.
Right, from a different time period of...
Yeah, I see that too.
Like, and then I feel like this was... They gave her the delusion edit.
And she was. Yeah, she was.
But I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was like... I think she could have been in the top for me. Rue wasn't vibing with the choice. With her humor. Like, which is weird because she's vibed with it before.
I know, but this was a one-note joke.
Yeah.
Like, the punchline every time was that you couldn't understand what she was saying.
I think she could have maybe done that once and then,
there needed to be more to it. And also the setup to each joke, which the joke is just making the noise.
Yeah.
It was long. So it's a long time without a joke, and then the joke comes, and then you're like, that was what you did?
Yeah, I guess you're right. She didn't really have, like...
It wasn't
timing-wise
like
tight
right
punchlines.
Also didn't have punchlines, but just was effortlessly charming, and somehow ended up basically in the top with Lexi Love, like Alyssa Edwards, or like Yara Sophia's Amy Winehouse. It's very that energy where...
It reminded me of, or like Jada's Prince in All Stars, like, it was when she was like... You don't know what's going on, but it's still funny.
Right. Her personality, even before the show, she was somebody I followed on social media, and it translates. Somehow it comes through. Yeah, like it just...
Because I feel like she, being the oldest queen, like...
34.
Which is not old. She's comfortable in herself and in her skin, and she's able to be herself and is not scared, because I feel like we're getting a lot of the young little Nepo babies that are scared in front of the camera and are getting in their head. But she is so much fun to watch.
Yeah. She was not comfortable in Gilbert's skin. But Lexi came through.
Honestly, wish she would have stuck in the voice when she broke, because it was very Gilbert Gottfried coded to be like, whatever.
Very comedian, yeah.
Yeah, oh my God.
To be like, it didn't work.
Right.
Joke didn't work. That's actually something he would do, although he would be yelling at them still.
Yeah.
I mean, to be real, the voice she was doing was never Gilbert Gottfried. Ever. It was like, I thought she was trying to do a character from The Sopranos or something.
Yeah.
A lovely surprise, and Sam Star.
Stam Smar.
This was a character I did not know, yet, you know, like Quinta said, what was great is it didn't matter. And that's truly some of the best Snatch games. It's like very Envy Peru on Holland. I don't know who that lady is, yet I totally know who that lady is because you gave me the full experience.
I knew her from that one clip. There's a girl who's giving a pageant. It's a pageant, and she's giving an answer, and she's like, with my money, I would go to McDonald's so that I could get some food. And then it cuts to her backstage being the pageant mom, and she's like, okay, me too, I love to eat. So I knew her from that. And if I'm being honest, I feel like Sam kind of just played herself.
It worked, though. It was funny.
Yeah, she definitely was probably the most prepared. Kind of felt like she was playing herself. But it was still...
Which is actually something Rue suggests.
I like that. So pick someone close to who you are. That way you can improv better, because when you're put on the spot and you're picking someone who's so far away from your personality, then it's hard to summon something.
You have to, think in someone else's brain.
You have to do mind gymnastics.
It's like speaking a second language.
It is, in a way.
Trying to be funny in a second language.
But she did do a good job. I can't deny that. But you know who did not do a good job?
Miss Rosa Parks. The fact that she got so thrown off because Rue said the bus thing first.
I'm sorry, and that's my thing. If that's your one joke.
Exactly. That was her whole reason for doing Snatch Game. So...
Then that's not a good choice, babe.
No. And also, what was your joke going to be? Just repeating that?
Yeah, well, she hadn't thought beyond that, and that in itself should have told her that is not a good joke, or that is not a good character, because... And I started this season... as a Lana stan. I remember when we did the promo videos, and you knew I was I've been following her for years. Promo. And I love Lana, but I feel like she's not having a good time on Drag Race. I feel like she is getting in her head and just not having fun.
We need to get her some of that Lucy LaDuca let loose juice.
She does need to let loose a little bit.
A lot of the girls do.
You could have done anything.
That's the problem with a lot of these characters. Cupid is the same thing. As Rosa Parks, as the Bigfoot, which the Bigfoot, she did have something, she had a full character developed. But the Cupid and Rosa Parks, you can make up anything you want. Yet you have nothing prepared. Why are you Cupid?
And what's great is
I'm a baby?
When you do a character like that, to subvert expectations. Be like, oh, I'm Cupid and I'm so tired of all these lovers.
That would have been
won't
something.
Shut up,
That would have been a concept.
In the future, I want them, I don't care if it's televised, if they want it to be or not. I want them to workshop these characters one day and then go to Snatch Game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Bring in a comedian like Quinta or someone from SNL.
You think the same way they do, have someone there for the stand-up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have them workshop it, because right now, it's not, to me, if we're continuing at this rate, it's not working. Well, Snatch Game isn't working anymore, and it used to be my favorite. And now I'm, a little... jaded.
I think one of the biggest flaws is just still having a cast this large. I don't think it's a good idea.
They should do it later.
I miss it being 8 people.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that was amazing, was the Eddie Murphy. Onya Nurve's Eddie Murphy was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. And it hits every criteria for Snatch Game. The first thing for Snatch Game is celebrity impersonation.
Yeah.
Celebrity. Not something you made up.
Then preach it, okay.
I think the Bigfoot was great, and that I love Jules, and I was so happy she was finally in the top again.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that should be something the same way they're not allowed to do the Brew Girls.
The Drag Race girls, yeah. But Onya did such a good job, and she picked someone who's a little close to her personality.
All she had to do was be a little nasally, and it was bitch, why does she sound just like him?
Incredible, just thinking on her toes and just being present. In acting, you do your homework and then you let it go.
Yeah.
And she let it go. Whereas, other people, they, did their research of Nicole Richie or Rosa Parks, allegedly.
I don't think
they did do research. But, and then they were so in their head, they had that one joke and they're like, I'm going to say that joke, I'm going to say that joke. RuPaul said that joke.
Probably the person featured the least was Lydia, which I kept forgetting who that was, too.
No, I love David Lynch. And I was so excited that she was doing her. And honestly, we could have taken Lexi out and we could have put Lydia in the top for me.
Really?
Yep.
I just wasn't funny to me, though.
I was cackling. I was getting my life. I was getting my hoots and hollers. And I love David Lynch, R.I.P.
He just died.
Yeah. And
probably when they filmed this, he was still alive. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it was a year ago. In his interviews, he's so,
quirky.
He's quirky and just, he says the craziest shit, and he...
Very direct.
Very direct, and, and she did a great job of that, I feel.
I'm very familiar with David Lynch, and I've seen his interviews as well.
Yeah.
It just didn't work, for me, it didn't work for Snatch Game.
I enjoyed it, personally, but...
And why'd she make him look dead?
Well...
She didn't know that was going to happen? Like, that doesn't look like... the makeup was just a little too much.
Her old people makeup that she's been doing is, like, a little intense.
Well, the bottom two down there also did, like, old people makeup.
I know. That Nicole Richie is criminal.
Was offensive.
Offensive. I get Big Ange because she is, like... She did tan a lot.
And she was actually really funny.
Yeah. Kori King did great.
Yeah. The little bit we saw was good.
She could have been in the top, too.
I would have put her in the top over Lexi.
Yeah.
I would have put Lexi.
You would have put her, and yeah.
But I just think they wanted to acknowledge what Lexi did. You know, it's funny. It was a different story.
Yeah. I'm so proud of Jules, though.
Yes.
My specific favorite joke that she made was the blood on the toenails. Blood. Yeah, that was so...
She was quick.
She was
quick. Gave us specifics for everything that we didn't even need all that, you know, but like it was just there. She had thought this out through and through. And that's, if you're gonna do something like this where you do a non-celebrity character where you're making it up.
Right.
It better be at this level.
It better be, yeah.
Like, because you can do anything. So you can prepare the best version of what you could do to be funny. Mm-hmm. You know? And that's what she did.
Yeah.
I also am, like, so happy for her because, to me, I've been saying that Jules is, like, the dark horse because I think she does well every week, especially in the comedy challenges.
Yeah.
I don't think she gets enough credit for how funny she is.
She's so funny. I feel like, definitely there's parts I would have probably put her in the top weeks past, like, and I'm a Jules stan, and I'm so glad that she's, like, coming to the forefront again, and hopefully she can snatch a win in the coming weeks.
We're heading to episode, 7 or 8?
Yeah, so you can have a lot of highs and, you know, no wins and apparently go home.
Like Crystal. But this Nicole Richie, they probably did this to avoid a cease and desist.
I know. I cannot believe that she could not name one Lionel Richie song.
Right. And actually, I think the next question, Rue just accidentally said Endless Love. Like, there you go, there's
Endless
one.
Endless Love, all night long, like...
Dancing on the ceiling.
Make up one, and like Quinta said, and like...
Hello.
Yeah.
Is it me you're looking for? Everyone knows that.
She could have made up one, and it's just, like, crazy that she had nothing to say. I'm like, you didn't research this character then, babe.
She also had nothing for Nicole Richie.
No, and Nicole is funny.
Hilarious.
She's hysterical.
She is dry, but so funny.
Oh, did you see in Untucked? Suzie said that Onya just put a mustache on and was playing herself.
Well, she kind of said that in the workroom, too.
Yeah.
Like, she said something in the episode.
Something like that, yeah.
Afterwards, saying that she was, didn't really have a character defined. Like, what?
Yeah.
Have you never seen an Eddie Murphy movie? Even just one of them.
I know, yeah, one. And she embodied Eddie Murphy to a T. And, like, I just feel like, I'm like, oh no, Suzie, we're getting into the Delulu.
I love that Sam, you know, with Susie's delusion.
She clocked it.
I'm going to have to go over there and tell her. Like, I love that energy, which isn't she Trinity's daughter? Yeah, Trinity did that too.
Very Trinity. Michelle talks about it a little bit on the runway. I feel like Sam Starr is kind of like a ChatGPT AI version of Trinity. Like, we put Trinity through, and this is what we're generating.
Some people in our Patreon chat were upset the feedback they gave her about, like, we want to get to know you. That's what
No, I feel that way, too.
Yeah, but some people were like, well, what do you want her to do? Because it's not clear advice. It's just like...
Yeah.
Just look, like, you need to try to open up to us more, because
You need to be vulnerable, because right now... that's what you got... Whether it's... in the workroom with Rue, or like somewhere, you just need to show us a little vulnerability, because right now it's giving AI, it's giving robot. This is Drag Race, it's not a pageant, you know? And I want to see a well-rounded TV personality.
I feel like we get to know you as a person.
Yeah.
And that was the same problem Crystal was having, too.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
But Onya, I mean, I was so happy she got this win.
I'm so glad she won. I think it's deserved. I think she was hilarious, and it was so much fun to watch. And I would love to see, like Quinta said, like, her host SNL someday, because I think she really is funny.
Arrietty stands out every week on the runway, and she's very lucky to be safe this week.
I feel like they took her runway into account, because, you know, it definitely was not a wonderful performance as Cupid. She didn't make anyone fall in love with her with that. Yeah. But I really did live for her runway.
This lip sync was Selena Gomez, Keep My Hands to Myself. Can't Keep My Hands to Myself. What'd you think of that?
I was gagarellaed when they called Crystal's. When they did not call Crystal's name. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like...
You thought she won the lip sync?
For me... Okay, so... Here's my tea.
Lana did lose her wig.
But
I thought she recovered very well.
That's what I feel like. I'm living in a different reality because everybody I've talked to says that Lana ate her up, but I honestly feel like both of them...
I'm not saying that. Those are strong words.
Yeah. I feel like both of them did the same moves from their previous lip syncs.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little disrespectful that she threw her train over Crystal and was blocking her again, just like she did to Hormona. And Crystal came through her legs at one point, too, and was
like, she was offended by that.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a little messy. And I do think, this slow, sexy song lends itself to Lana's drag more.
Yeah. When she put her leg up, that was
It was beautiful. I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch it, but I thought Crystal won it. To me. And I would rather see more from Crystal.
I think that's the biggest thing that I feel like comes into people's feelings with it.
Yeah.
Crystal obviously has a lot more to offer the competition, because I just don't think Lana's going to be able to deliver,
I thought Crystal was a contender for the crown.
I don't think so. I don't know her.
Yeah.
I don't know her at all.
High and safe, though. High, safe, high. She was in the top 2. I am a Lana stan. But I don't think she's having fun. And I like to see people have fun on TV.
Crystal's doing better in the competition.
Yeah.
And I get that, but I don't think Crystal's having fun either. I haven't seen Crystal have fun.
I think she had a lot of fun for the song.
Commercial. When she looked like Kylie Sonique Love.
Yeah, whenever she was unprofessional, that one.
That's true. I guess maybe for me, a lot of the extreme words to one or the other for both of these contestants don't fit for me.
Yeah.
Just like this lip sync, and that's how the lip syncs have been all season.
The lip syncs are the only thing that's been lacking this season.
The only thing. I think Lana, for me, did win the lip sync, and it was actually better than her lip sync last week. Her sexier energy matched the song better.
Yeah.
I think last week it should have been a double elimination. Because neither one of them embodied the song whatsoever.
No.
She just happened to look better as she was doing it.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
Neither one of them were giving angst that Olivia
So
Rodrigo.
I think that should have been a double elimination, especially since we have 2 double saves.
I don't know if it's the bow or what, but the faces, they aren't moving. Lana, her face doesn't move. The body's moving and it's very sexy and it's gorgeous and I'm living, which works in a club, but when we're on TV and I'm seeing your face, I want to see you emote a little.
The purpose of lip syncing is to embody the story of the song.
Give
us a story. Even if it's not the words literally,
you could
give us a story.
Make it your own. But as soon as the song started, though, I was like, oh, this is very Lana. This is very sexy and slow, and that's very her.
Onya is up there with Suzie with 2 wins.
Yes. I support.
Still right in the middle there is Jules. No wins, no bottoms.
My baby.
She's now the new Crystal in terms of being the runner-up for challenges.
Yeah.
Arrietty, even though she's got the win, only one bottom, but bottom 3 a few times, right? I mean, she's not done well in any comedy challenges.
She's been a little inconsistent, to say the least.
And I mean, I feel like on a U.S. regular season where we have 16 episodes, we know there's going to be a lot more comedy.
Yeah, I'm a lot more. I'm worried for Arrietty, but
if she don't turn it around at some point.
I hope she does.
Find a funny bone.
And that's the thing. Outside of the show, you don't have to be funny. Right. You can be very serious and fierce.
I think she's so charming. I love her confessionals. I think she's adorable.
She should have picked someone mean for Snatch Game.
I do think she should have picked someone nice, because that's literally how I see her. Literally the complete opposite.
Really, that's so funny.
The complete opposite.
I feel like she's the Valentina of the season.
I don't see that at all. That's wild.
I mean, we all have our own perceptions of reality.
I guess my threshold for what qualifies as a villain is pretty high.
Yeah, I'm like, you looked at me wrong, you're a villain.
There's lots of villains in The Wizard of Oz and Wicked and The Wiz, and we're doing all 3 as the Rizical. I bet you're going to love this.
I am really looking forward to it. I am just I really wanted to be on Drag Race when they did this. Oh. So it's a double-edged sword because I'm I love it so much, and I just hope, I hope these queens do a spectacular job. And I hope Jules is Galinda. Oh my God.
Oh, she'd be so good.
She'd be great.
She'd be so. Well, we saw her. The preview was her and Kori fighting over a part. I don't remember which part it was.
Ooh.
But they were fighting over one of the parts. I just nuts how they're literally combining all 3 different versions of
iterations. Yeah. Wicked and the Wiz and the Wizard of Oz. It's
Wiz and Wizard of Oz go together. But Wicked is a separate story. I guess it is intertwined, but...
It is. The second act of Wicked is The Wizard of Oz.
We still have, what, 11 people? 10 or 11 people?
10 left, yeah.
So we do need a lot of parts. We do need all 3 movies.
Yeah, we are going to have a lot to cover here. But I'm excited, and it makes so much sense for them to do this. Like,
yeah, of course.
Especially, like, they timed it with Wicked's release and everything. And so...
Right in between.
Right in between the two. So I'm excited, and who doesn't love The Wizard of Oz? Like, it's going to be amazing.
So we can see that...
Lana's the Tin Man.
Lana's the Tin Man.
Is Acacia Dorothy?
Uh-huh. And then...
Is that Jules?
Lexi?
Oh, it's Lexi. Yeah, it's definitely Lexi. As the lion. The lioness. This set looks so gorgeous.
It does.
I'm obsessed.
I'm still not super sold on the new black. I think it's the floor. The floor is the main thing.
Yeah.
The black shiny floor, because one thing that I really miss is the lip syncs. I feel like we're further away from them, and
I do.
And more removed, and I think it's the set. Think about the Lady Camden lip sync and versus Bosco, and like stuff that we were starting to get. Like they were really starting to give us more cinema with these lip syncs and runways even. And there's something more. I guess it's more clinical, and the camera's even further away a lot.
And the girls keep going behind them, like Lana.
The girls are on the stage now.
Yeah, and they're going back. Like I don't know why. And so like literally like Hunter Schafer had to be like trying to watch Lana. She like literally was like, "What's going on?" And I think it's because they have those spaces filled in the corners. Now it's not the T-shaped runway that it was.
Right.
It's like this huge, which I guess they have had it like that for a long time.
When the girls go back and they're safe, they're still at the same height level, so they don't like blend into the background like they should. It's just weird.
It is
why
weird.
They would take that step down away.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why are you standing on the stage?
Right.
They might as well put the chairs out on the side and have them go sit over there.
One thing I hated too with the Badunkadunk tank, they would leave those levers right there when the girls left, and I'm like, that ruins their like last shot. Because you can see the levers in the shot.
Oh.
But I'm excited for next week.
Yeah, I guess for the musical, what are our expectations? Who do we think is going to do good? I think Jules will, and I'm hoping this is Jules' moment to get a win, regardless of what character she gets.
I think Onya will do great because she can sing. She has a great voice.
Right. So, she's already won that.
Yeah.
Onya will do well.
Suzie
will do well.
Hopefully.
I think because this is also in her wheelhouse, but...
I want Suzie to be the wizard.
Who do you think she'll be?
I feel like she's cuckoo like the wizard, and I could see her playing that. But
yeah,
if they take it to the Wiz route, then I could see Onya actually slaying that too. But like,
I could see Onya as Elphaba.
T.
Because also you need a powerful voice for that.
That's true. It depends on how. Are they? Do we know if they're singing live or if they're recorded?
I don't know. Because that does make a huge difference.
It does.
Singing live, recording, or just lip syncing. Those are the 3 options.
And Acacia
and all 3 of them
sing.
make a big difference.
Acacia can sing too.
Can she?
Yeah, she's like, so I could see her doing well as Dorothy, or it could be like a Saltine moment where it's like the main character is kind of the trap of the Rusical, as we often see like with Kim K.
Talking about like Bosco.
Yeah, Bosco and
Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
Cynthia Lee Fontaine. I feel like sometimes the lead of the Rusical, you don't want that.
I was actually thinking that Elphaba and Glinda would be the leads, but Dorothy could be the lead.
Right. We'll have to see. I'm excited.
Maybe it could be the 3 of them. Because they have to change it up enough so that they don't get in trouble. I mean, so many people own the rights to that.
Right.
It's different stuff.
Even in Agatha All Along, they had to change Agatha when she was basically Elphaba.
Right.
They had to change it so much.
If you wear the red shoes, then you owe Warner Brothers money.
Right.
And
Looks like she's got the silver.
Yep, those are the only legal ones.
Book accurate.
Street legal. It's time to get into the runway, and the category was nails.
Ooh.
You got your French tips?
I do. I'm Kori King.
Right. I would have hated
nails.
this.
Oh, you would have hated it?
I would have hated it because I paint my nails and I hate wearing them.
True.
I find them so annoying.
Well, you could have done like a literal nail. Like,
that's literally
hardcore.
Go back and watch the Patreon Live. I literally said that.
Yes.
As soon as she said the category, I said, I would do a look made out of actual nails.
Yeah. Like 9-inch nails or something, whatever. That would be cool.
Yeah. And no one did it.
I feel like they could have had, overall, I feel like everyone could have maybe had a little more fun with this category.
I feel like, this was not the most creative. Considering, like, at the ball, that Sea Creature one, everyone killed it.
Everyone turned it out. Yeah, I wanted, like, Simone, do you remember? With her the red acrylic nail dress.
Yeah.
And the hands and the hair like that. I wanted that level.
I think Lydia tried to do that. Let's start with Acacia. Acacia forgot.
Was she referencing?
She was the Swiss Army knife.
Oh!
So remember, she had all
I did not get that. They said Troop Beverly Hills, and so I thought that's what she was referencing. And then I was like, what's going on?
She's even got the logo.
Oh, that's true. I guess I don't touch Swiss Army knives very often, so
No, I don't either. So it was well done. This color just doesn't. That's the thing, too, with the new stage, is dark colors.
They don't.
I mean, the girls used to be able to wear black. If you wear black, you're disappeared. Any dark color like this.
A floating head.
Right. It just doesn't pop.
No, I thought it was fine. I'm like
Chloe would kill it on.
Oh, she would be visible. Yeah. But I don't know. I thought it was fine.
Her makeup looked beautiful, but it was very...
Now that you say it's Swiss Army knife, it makes me like it more.
The nails are incredible.
The nails are gorgeous. And
it is very clever. Up next is Arrietty.
Gorgeous. Arrietty just like slayed.
Arrietty.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I only know because it's a Studio Ghibli movie that she inspired. So A Secret World of Arrietty.
Luckily, I think the first couple times I said Arrietty. So
Arrietty is fierce though. That's a fierce name.
That sounds good. Yeah.
I like that.
I was close. I'm getting closer.
Yeah.
So it's Arrietty.
Yes.
Arrietty.
Yeah. But
Arrietty.
Yes.
Okay. I just have to get my brain to train it.
That's so
I love this look. I did not like when she was like, I'm a cute cat. And I'm like, oh, I don't like it now.
Oh, did she say that in the voiceover?
Whatever her voiceover. There was a few girls this episode where their voiceover was like, just don't.
The voiceover is sometimes, not everybody's Katya where they slay it on the voiceover.
Lydia is so bad at the voiceover.
Yeah. There's a Lydia, and a lot of the girls are just not great at the voiceover.
I'd rather just let my imagination come up with the idea. Because if you're telling me your idea and it's making me not like it, it's a problem.
And then that shows me, I'm like, did someone just make this for you and you didn't have any say in the design?
That part too. Sometimes you can tell the girls don't know what they're wearing and what it's referencing.
But, I mean, obviously Arrietty makes her stuff.
No, yeah.
And this is gorgeous. The forearms were so cool, too.
It was cool.
And what a cool way to incorporate that. And I loved the little baby hair tendrils that she had. And it went with her contour. Yeah. I thought that looked gorgeous.
Her makeup was incredible.
Yeah, the gray is just so gorgeous. She had I wish she would have...
The neck.
Yeah. I wish it would have been a little bit longer or something. I feel like it
looked too loose
up or something. Yeah.
Because everything else is perfect.
Everything else is impeccable though.
Up next is Crystal Envy. I was surprised at how much the judges liked this.
I did not enjoy this as much. I thought the fur placement on the hips was really unflattering.
To be fair, she really did try to sell it. You could see her really trying to give us the character and make it work.
And it definitely fit nails, though, as the category, because she had them on the feet and on the hands.
The nails were present.
Yeah.
I just, with a lot of these, actually, it's like, so that's where your brain went? To me, that's and that's what you want to do? Clearly, she's supposed to be, I would assume, mid-transformation. But if you're going to give me werewolf, give me werewolf.
Yeah, it's kind of giving Sims 2 werewolf.
Up next is Jewel Sparkles.
I thought this was so refreshing on the runway.
And her story about the look. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh my God, something she really hasn't shared with us before.
Right, I know. It seems like such a deep thing that we'd get a workroom moment about that versus, just briefly mentioning it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least she had something to say and had a inspiration for the look.
Yeah. We say this dressed as Princess Peach and Sleeping Beauty, but sometimes drag can be references, and I love when something is, every once in a while, when something is just something of your own creation entirely. And I got that, even though I guess it did reference Edward Scissorhands.
She didn't say that, but it totally gave Edward Scissorhands. But still, it's her own version of it.
That's a good nail pick, because that is something when I think of...
And it still is her own version of it. It's not a literal interpretation.
Right, exactly. It's
I have
inspired.
Those gloves.
You do?
Uh-huh.
What have you used them for?
When I did my dark Anja Woman.
The Debbie?
The Debbie, thank you.
Yeah, lady. Yeah. Oh my God, that's fierce.
Because she wore these this week, I was like, oh, I'll get those out and I'll do that look. But that look has been cut up and torn into a bunch of other looks. It does. The look doesn't exist.
That's such a drag queen thing to be like, oh, I can't wear that anymore. I turned it into 3 other looks.
I would need a little bit more time to transform it back.
Oh my god.
Up next is Kori King as the French mime with her French tips. I thought that was funny. I was like, what a funny way to go. But the look itself is too underwhelming.
Girl, now what?
I love that she got called out for those shoes, though.
Has Ru ever done that where she's, like, walked over to a station and grabbed something?
Well, it's like Widow and her little biscuit.
Yeah.
But that was on the stage.
I literally was saying that, too, though. In the ball, I'm like, girl, why do you wear those?
The same shoe. And they cut off her leg every time.
And she has gorgeous legs. Why wouldn't you?
And here, that looks better.
Yeah.
I bet she would have worn one of those little shoes if Ru hadn't said that.
If you're going to do French tip... And I love French tips. I wear them all the time. They're my go-to nail. But this is not runway.
It needs to be a couture French look. A French mime.
Be the Eiffel Tower.
The biggest, yeah.
Be the Eiffel Tower. And
you could even still do mine, but do a couture epic version of it.
Yeah, this is not...
This is cute.
This is quick drag. With her Suzie Toot mouth. And her... And she's wearing... I don't know if it is, but it looks like Hormona's Bob.
That would be hilarious if she did. I forgot about that.
It very well could be. I'm loving her personality, just not her runways.
None of the looks are bad. They're just not runway.
They're not memorable.
Yeah, they're not drag race run. They're great for real life drag. They're great for that. They're just not. We have expectations, and she knows that.
When they zoomed in on everybody's nails, and, like, everybody had cool, like, something going on, and then you zoom in, and it was like, it would be like if I said, this is my nail runway.
Right. Next, Lana Jure. All I remember from this is the bottom. I was like, what is happening there? And I wouldn't have known that was a hand or a glove unless she had said it, because it just looked like...
Yeah. I think because I've seen Queen Kong's version of this. Yeah. Hers was 3-dimensional, and this was flat. This was, like, 2-dimensional. Her nipples were out that whole lip sync.
The whole time, yeah.
Like...
But that gold corset is stunning.
Why? But, like, and we saw earlier this season that Jules had that moment, too, with the quilted runway, but she had pasties on. Mm-hmm. If you know, and you know when you wear a corset, if your nipples are going to come out or not. Cut something off and glue it to your titty.
I would think that anyone that has looks that do show any type of chest, it would be smart if you're going to Drag Race to literally...
Get a pasty in every color.
Right, and they're so cheap. Just get a sequin pasty in every color. You could probably buy a box of them on Amazon.
Hell, you could have just put some lash glue and pour some glitter on your nipples.
Hello.
She's not thinking like herself, and that's why we get moments like this.
She's 21, though.
Yeah, she is a young
baby.
She's a baby. She's a baby.
Next, we go from the baby to the old lady. But you know what? That rhymed. But also,
it did.
Dark Lady today. And I wanted to mention earlier, because people were calling us out that we didn't acknowledge that Lexi did call herself Grandma first.
Oh.
But to me, I read it as like, I can make the joke about me.
Yep.
And you can too, but like, all right, now you're crossing a line. And you're like not saying it to me.
She could call herself the T word if she wanted. You're not going to repeat it. Do you know what I mean?
You know, we've seen a lot of shares, and this share was not extraordinary, but she did look stunning, and the nails were extraordinary, and had share on the nails.
On the nails. And the wig.
The wig was everything.
It was...
I would love to hear what Irene Dubois, how many inches she thinks that is.
I would love to hear Lux Noir London's take on this. Is it 40 inches? Is it not?
It's almost to the floor, and that bitch looks tall.
Yeah, true. Lexi has something that I feel like the other girls don't have, which is an eye for style. And she can take something like, she just wore a tarp, right? But but it looked like
she
couture.
Sold it. She sold it. Here's the thing. There's 2 people that I could see winning this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Lexi and Jules. Because they have the full package superstar energy.
Right now, yeah.
Right now, yeah. With some of the other girls, it could develop, and Anya's getting close, and Susie's had flashes of it.
Yeah. She made me question it this week.
Yeah, but Lexi, no matter if she does well or not, and Jules the same thing, it doesn't matter how they do in the challenge.
Yeah.
That superstar presence, that winner energy is just there. It's like what she did at Snatch Game. Mm-hmm. And messing up, being charming, being herself, you can't learn that.
No, you can't teach it.
Because even if you try to do it, if it wasn't your natural reaction, it wouldn't work.
It's going to be fabricated. But she's so authentic and
knows herself.
Yeah, and that's why A Lexi stan.
Up next is Lydia Butthole Kollins.
This might be controversial.
Is it your favorite?
It's my favorite.
Wow.
When I think of a nail runway, this is what I
was waiting
want.
for that.
Yeah, I was waiting for... And do you think it was licorice? What?
I don't know.
Because, like, it looked like licorice. Just feels like a child of Willow Pill. Like, I see a lot of Willow Pill in her.
You could have stopped at child.
She just feels like that, period.
No, but I mean, on the runway, she obviously doesn't.
But I don't know. Something about this, I was like, this is what I wanted. And this is what I was looking for. I think she has great concepts. And I think the execution isn't always totally there for me. But right, it is a little befuddled.
At least she has creativity and she has something there.
Yeah,
she just needs to harness it.
Yeah.
Up next is Onya Nurve, giving you hair show, but also very '90s with the airbrush
spray paint. Yeah,
it reminded me of Florida.
Oh yeah, Chantel Sparkles did this hair.
The hair's epic.
I feel like the hair is the cornerstone of this outfit.
Well, and if you're gonna do a look that the pieces are basic, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that everything else is epic. The hair, the nails.
Yeah.
The fact that they actually were shiny. I feel like there was one of the few nails that, really popped on the runway.
Yeah.
And then the train also just really gave it life.
Pretty. Yeah.
Like, all the accessories, all the choices she made gave this the life. Up next is Sam Starr. We've seen this to death.
I know.
This is actually,
is that your bottom?
The look itself
is
it's tailored well to her body, but we have seen this. Miss Fame and her makeover partner, Candy Ho, literally wore the exact thing.
And then
Pearl,
that same season.
Pearl, the same season. But then, years later, Acacia Davenport did a full bodysuit,
Let's do a countdown, top 10 plastic surgery looks.
Michelle finally clocked what I've been saying on Mangle Morning for years. Stop with the Marie Antoinette.
She did say that.
I live for that.
And she kind of said stop with the plastic surgery looks.
Yeah, it would be my worst because you're just wearing something that's old.
And the fruit roll-up hair. It looks like a fruit roll-up to me.
I think the hair's actually pretty.
It is pretty. I'm just we've seen it a lot.
Up next is Suzie Toot.
I was pleasantly surprised with this look.
Yeah, I was too.
And the gag of the reveal. Because when she came out, I was like, that's her front. And then she turned around and I was like, oh my God.
I wish she hadn't dropped, I feel like I barely got to see it,
That's, a lot of these girls do that. They reveal too soon. Mm-hmm. I agree. But I also don't know how she would have walked. I mean, maybe she could have walked backwards, like a Miss Vanjie moment.
Yeah, maybe even if the camera had just stayed on her,
a little bit.
Yeah, before she took it off. The runways in general this season have been lightning fast.
They have been. They've been getting through it.
Well, this was a lovely first episode back with you.
Yes.
And you'll be here a few more times this week, so make sure you're subscribed and tuning in.
We'll be serving princess teas and royalty all week.
No, I don't know if I'm going to say all. But we'll see. I'll pray.
Well, you're always serving royalty.
Right. Just I'm going to give that. Yeah, I'll give me.
Yes.
Well, we're going to head on out of here for now. I have one last thing to say today. Glad you got to see us. Bye. Does Peach have any catchphrases?
Oh!